Hey guys, Jack's your free auto mechanic. Uh, we're here today with our 2006 Chevy Silverado. It's got the 5.3 V8 in it. Today we're going to replace a serpentine belt tensioner. Of course, you're going to need a couple of things for that. Got the new tensioner. You'll need one of those. I'll put a link down below if you need to get one. It's got 3 bolts that hold it on. Let's go ahead and open this up. So I want you to see there's 3 bolt holes that hold this on. That's it. That's all that holds this thing on. You'll need 15 millimeter to take the tensioner loose to get the old serpentine belt off. 15 millimeter socket to be able to take the 3 bolts loose to hold the tensioner on. And if you choose to, you can take the air breather out of the way, and you'll need a flat blade screwdriver for that. You don't necessarily have to take that off. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Right there's our tensioner. So if you want to take this out of the way, give you a little extra room. You've got a flat blade here, flat blade there. We can just take that out. Give us a little extra breathing room so that we can see our tensioner down here. But if you want to leave it in there, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and remove it just to give myself a little extra room. Once you get it loose, you can just kind of wiggle it a little bit and work it off. So now it gives us a little better access, visually anyway. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to take the serpentine belt loose, but you want to take note of your belt routing. Take a little mental picture, and we can remember how it goes back on, because it'll fit on a couple of different ways, but you want to make sure that it goes on the right way. Get our 15 millimeter. We'll just take our belt loose, remove it. Set it off to the side. Set our wrench off to the side. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove 3 bolts. There's one here, and one back here. That's 15 millimeter. And in case you're wondering, why would you want to change it? I don't know if you can. I'm gonna do something a little awkward here. So I took my microphone off because I think this is pretty important. Hopefully you can hear this. This is the difference between a dry bearing and a regular bearing. I'm just going to hold the microphone down here and I'm going to spin it. Hopefully you got to hear that. Here's the new one. No noise. Then we just take it off. There's not a whole lot to it. Just set it off to the side. We'll get our new one. Again, if you need one for yourself, I'll put a link down below. And I like to get all 3 bolts started before you tighten them up. Now that we've got all of our bolts tight, next step is to put our belt back on. You can see a big difference. Nice and smooth. So we'll put our get our belt routed. And this is where it comes in handy to remember how you have the belt routed. Pay particular attention to make sure that your belt fits inside the groove. If it's off just a little bit, then it won't tighten up right. Once we get that on there, and get everything lined up the way we want it. See if I can show you a better angle here. So we get our belt back on, and what I like to do is get it started on all the pulleys. And you can see all I got to do is try and get it underneath this idler pulley. So the belt's on there, properly routed. It's in all the grooves. So all I have to do is rotate my tensioner down enough to where I get this belt right up underneath that idler, and then we should be good. So now I'll put my tensioner. You can use just a regular 15mm socket and a ratchet, or a wrench if you have one. I just happen to have this tool. The longer the shaft, the longer the leverage you have. So you just ease this down, and we'll just slip our belt right up underneath of that. Is the idea. Slip right up under there. Make sure it's in all your grooves. Now we got our belt back on correctly, and I'm noticing that if you see this here, I want you to see this. That's what I'm talking about. See how my belt's not in the groove all the way right there? Now, odds are if I start it up, it'll pop right in there, but you want to make sure that you get it all the way in. And if you need to work your adjuster a couple of times, that's okay. But you want to make sure it's in, lined up straight. Next, we'll put our air filter breather back on. Tighten our clamps back up. And if you don't have a screwdriver, 8mm works pretty good, or 5/16. You'll make sure that you get those hose clamps good and snug. Make sure that you get your hoses clamped back in here. And of course, once you get it situated, you want to start it up. Make sure everything's working proper. So 3 bolts in about 3 minutes. You can have a new tensioner put on yourself. Thanks for watching.